In a quiet suburban neighborhood, under the guise of a typical loving marriage, the story of Emily and Mark unfolds. A tale woven with secrets, curiosity, and unspoken desires. Mark, a software developer, spent his days immersed in code, while Emily, a part-time librarian, found solace in the world of books and the quietude of her surroundings. Their life, at least on the surface, seemed harmoniously average. But beneath this facade of tranquility, Emily harbored a growing curiosity that was about to tip the scales of their marital balance. One evening, as the amber hues of sunset bled into the living room, Emily stumbled upon a series of messages on Mark's laptop. It was open, a rare occurrence on a Reddit thread discussing the complexities of modern relationships. Her eyes darted across the screen, absorbing the tales of love, betrayal, and the gray areas in between. At that moment, a seed was planted, a mix of intrigue and a perilous desire to explore beyond the confines of her marriage. She whispered to herself, just curious, rationalizing the whirlpool of emotions that began to engulf her. In the weeks that followed, Emily's curiosity spiraled into a clandestine exploration. She created an anonymous Reddit account, diving into forums that discussed tales of infidelity, not as a judge, but as a spectator driven by an inexplicable thirst for understanding. With each story she read, a part of her yearned to experience the thrill, the danger, and the forbidden pleasure that seemed to lace these narratives. Meanwhile, Mark, oblivious to Emily's internal storm, continued his routine, his attention tethered to his work, unaware of the shift in his wife's demeanor. Emily, now a ghost in their shared home, spent her nights bathed in the glow of her computer screen, her mind wandering in the vastness of strangers' confessions and justifications for deceit. As the divide between Emily and Mark widened, an unexpected message popped up in Emily's Reddit inbox. It was from a user named AlexR_93, who claimed to have found her insights on a particularly controversial thread enlightening. A smile crept over Emily's face as she typed her reply, unaware that this simple act of acknowledgement would catapult her into a whirlwind of events that would irrevocably alter the course of her marriage. The conversation with AlexR_93 evolved rapidly from casual exchanges to more intimate disclosures. Emily found herself drawn to this stranger, his words a mirror to her unvoiced thoughts and desires. It was a connection, albeit virtual, that filled the void which had silently crept into her marriage. Yet with every message exchanged, the line between curiosity and infidelity blurred, leaving Emily to navigate a labyrinth of moral dilemmas. As Chapter 1 of this tale closes, we are left to ponder the complexities of human emotions and relationships. Emily's journey into the depths of curiosity raises questions about the boundaries of marriage, the allure of the unknown, and the price of desire. What began as a harmless exploration has set the stage for a story of deceit, passion, and the search for something beyond the ordinary. As the days turned into weeks, Emily's interactions with AlexR_93 became the highlight of her existence. Their conversations, once a harmless diversion, had transformed into a beacon of excitement in her otherwise monotonous life. Yet, with every message sent and received, Emily felt the weight of guilt pressing down on her. She knew she was treading on a dangerous path, one that could lead to the unraveling of her marriage with Mark. But the thrill of the unknown, the exhilaration of connecting with someone who seemed to understand the depths of her soul was intoxicating. Mark, on the other hand, began to notice the changes in Emily. Her distant gaze, the way her fingers hesitated over her phone screen, and the sudden secrecy surrounding her late-night online activities. Concern etched into his heart. Mark questioned whether the passion that once bound them together was slowly eroding, leaving behind a chasm filled with unsaid words and unshared feelings. One chilly evening, as Emily sat wrapped in a blanket, her eyes locked onto her glowing screen, Mark decided to breach the growing divide. "Em, we need to talk," he said, his voice a mixture of concern and trepidation. Emily's heart skipped a beat, her mind racing with excuses. She turned to face him, her expression a carefully constructed mask of calm. "About what?" she inquired, hoping her voice didn't betray the turmoil within. Mark hesitated, searching for the right words. "I feel like we're drifting apart," he finally admitted, his gaze fixed on hers, searching for a glimpse of the woman he fell in love with. Emily's heart ached at his words, a part of her longing to confess her online escapades, to seek forgiveness and rekindle the flame that once defined their relationship. Yet fear held her back, fear of losing Mark, fear of the unknown. As they navigated their way through a difficult conversation, Emily managed to deflect Mark's concerns, attributing her behavior to stress and the mundanity of their daily routines. Mark, wanting to believe her, suggested they take a weekend getaway, a chance to reconnect and rekindle their love. Emily agreed, her mind conflicted, knowing that stepping away from her digital liaison with AlexR_93 would be more challenging than she cared to admit. Meanwhile, AlexR_93, whose real name was Alex Reed, found himself equally ensnared by the connection he shared with Emily. What started as a distraction from his own failing marriage became a lifeline. Alex found himself waiting for Emily's messages, each one a thread pulling him closer to the edge of a precipice he hadn't intended to approach. The anonymity of the internet, once a shield, now felt like a barrier he yearned to tear down. As the date of their getaway approached, Emily felt the dual pull of her affection for Mark and the exhilarating connection with Alex. She knew a decision loomed on the horizon, one that could alter the course of her life. The question of whether to continue down the path of deceit or confront the truth loomed large, a shadow over her heart. The night before their trip, Emily received a message from Alex that would set the stage for the next chapter in this tangled tale. "I think it's time we meet," he wrote, his words a catalyst that threatened to shatter the fragile balance of Emily's world. The message from Alex hung in the air, a digital ultimatum that forced Emily to confront the reality of her actions. The thrill of anonymity and the safety it provided were now overshadowed by the prospect of bringing her online affair into the tangible world. The thought both excited and terrified her. It was a step that could solidify her bond with Alex, yet it also held the power to dismantle the life she had built with Mark. As Emily lay awake that night, the silence of the room amplified her racing thoughts. The upcoming getaway with Mark, intended to be a bridge back to each other, now felt like a countdown to a decision she wasn't ready to make. The dichotomy of her feelings for Mark and Alex left her feeling adrift, caught between the comfort of the known and the allure of the unknown. The morning sun brought no clarity, only the realization that the day ahead would be a pivotal one in her life. With a heavy heart, Emily packed for the weekend getaway, her mind a tempest of what-ifs and might-have-beens. Mark, ever hopeful, saw the trip as a chance to rediscover the love they once shared, unaware of the storm brewing within his wife. On their way to the secluded cabin, the couple drove in a silence filled with unspoken words and unacknowledged tensions. Emily's gaze frequently drifted to her phone, the weight of Alex's proposal pressing down on her. She knew a decision had to be made, and time was running out. Meanwhile, Alex awaited Emily's response with a mix of anticipation and dread. His own marriage had been a facade for years, a partnership sustained by mutual indifference rather than love. Emily had become his beacon of hope, a chance at finding something real. Yet he knew the gravity of what he was asking. To meet would be to cross a line from which there could be no return. As the cabin came into view, nestled among towering pines and overlooking a serene lake, Emily felt the finality of the moment. The natural beauty of the place stood in stark contrast to the turmoil within her. That night, as she and Mark sat by the fire, the warmth of the flames did little to bridge the cold distance between them. Mark reached for her hand, his touch a silent plea for connection. "Em, whatever is going on, we can fix it. I love you," he said, his voice a mix of strength and vulnerability. His words pierced through the fog of Emily's indecision, a reminder of the love that once seemed unbreakable. In that moment, Emily realized the true cost of her curiosity. The excitement of her connection with Alex paled in comparison to the depth of history, friendship, and love she shared with Mark. The thought of losing that over a fantasy was a wake-up call. She knew what she had to do. With a heart full of regret and a newfound resolve, Emily made her choice. She turned to Mark, her eyes brimming with tears, ready to confess everything. The confession was painful, a bearing of her soul and the betrayals it housed. Mark listened in silence, his expression a canvas of hurt, confusion, and love. The conversation that followed was long and fraught with emotion. There were tears, recriminations, and moments of tender understanding. It was a beginning, fragile and uncertain, but a beginning nonetheless. Emily sent one last message to Alex, a goodbye that marked the end of their digital affair and the start of her journey toward redemption. "I'm sorry, but I can't meet you. I've realized that I need to focus on my marriage and heal the damage I've caused. Goodbye, Alex." In the aftermath of Emily's confession, the cabin that was meant to be a sanctuary for rekindling love had transformed into a crucible for their relationship's rebirth. The air between Emily and Mark was heavy with the weight of betrayal, but also with the possibility of forgiveness. That night, they laid bare their vulnerabilities, fears, and desires, initiating a dialogue that had been missing for too long. The following morning greeted them with a silence that was more contemplative than uncomfortable. Over breakfast, they discussed the practical aspects of their reconciliation. Mark, though deeply hurt, expressed his willingness to work through the betrayal, understanding that their marriage had not been fulfilling for either of them for some time. Emily, for her part, committed to being transparent about her feelings and actions moving forward. Together, they decided to seek couples therapy upon their return, recognizing that the road to healing would require professional guidance. The weekend unfolded with a series of small yet significant moments. A walk by the lake allowed them to reconnect with the natural calm around them, reflecting on the serenity they wished to restore in their marriage. Sitting by the fire, they shared memories of better times, laughter mingling with tears, as they began to remember the love that had brought them together. Upon returning home, Emily took tangible steps to mend the rift she had caused. She deactivated her anonymous Reddit account, a symbolic gesture of closing the door on that chapter of her life. She also initiated the search for a therapist, demonstrating her commitment to rebuilding their marriage. Their first therapy session was challenging. Unpacking the layers of hurt and misunderstanding that had accumulated over the years was a painful process. Yet it was also cathartic. With the therapist's guidance, they explored the issues that had led Emily to seek emotional fulfillment outside their marriage. Mark had to confront his tendency to withdraw into his work, neglecting the emotional needs of his wife and their relationship. As the weeks turned into months, Emily and Mark gradually found their way back to each other. The therapy sessions, though often difficult, became a space for them to communicate openly and honestly. They learned new ways to express their needs and to listen actively to each other. Slowly, the trust that had been eroded began to rebuild, stronger and more resilient. One of the most significant milestones in their journey of healing came on their anniversary. Instead of the usual exchange of gifts, they decided to write letters to each other. In those letters, they poured out their hearts, acknowledging the pain of the past year, but also expressing their hopes and commitments for the future. Reading them aloud to each other, they sealed their promises with a renewal of their vows, a testament to their determination to overcome the obstacles that had threatened to tear them apart. As the seasons changed, so did the dynamic between Emily and Mark. The cold, harsh winter of their discontent gradually gave way to a spring filled with new beginnings and renewed hope. Therapy had become less about unraveling the threads of betrayal and more about weaving a stronger fabric for their future together. Each session contributed to a deeper understanding of themselves and each other, reinforcing the foundation of their relationship with trust and mutual respect. Emily found solace in journaling, a practice suggested by their therapist. It became her refuge, a place where she could process her feelings, reflect on her growth, and document the milestones of their healing journey. Mark, on his part, discovered the value of patience and the strength in vulnerability. He learned to express his fears and desires without the shadow of judgment, creating a safe space for Emily to do the same. One evening, as they prepared dinner together, a routine that had become a cherished part of their day, Emily proposed a new tradition. "What if we start having weekly check-ins?" she suggested, her voice tinged with hopeful anticipation. "A time dedicated to us where we can talk about anything and everything, no distractions." Mark agreed, touched by her initiative. Their weekly check-ins quickly became the heartbeat of their relationship, a time when they could celebrate victories, address concerns, and plan for the future. It was during one of these sessions that they decided to embark on a project that symbolized their journey, planting a garden together. The garden became a metaphor for their relationship. They started with seeds of trust, watering them with communication and nurturing them with love. As the garden flourished, so did their bond, each bloom a testament to their resilience and commitment to each other. Yet the path to complete trust was not without its hurdles. Emily's past actions had left scars that sometimes throbbed with reminders of the pain. Mark struggled with flashes of doubt, moments when the shadow of insecurity crept in, threatening to undo the progress they had made. It was during these times that the strength of their commitment was truly tested. One such test came unexpectedly. Emily received a message from Alex, who had stumbled upon her personal blog, a space where she shared her reflections on love, betrayal, and healing, without revealing identities or specifics. His message was one of apology and understanding, expressing happiness for her growth and the restoration of her marriage. The decision to share Alex's message with Mark was a pivotal moment for Emily. It was an act of transparency, a demonstration of her commitment to openness, no matter the vulnerability it entailed. Mark's reaction was a mix of emotions: surprise, discomfort, but ultimately appreciation for her honesty. Together, they discussed the message, acknowledging its impact and reaffirming their trust in each other. As Emily and Mark continued their journey of healing, they soon realized that the path to a stronger relationship was not without its challenges. Just as their garden faced the unpredictable whims of nature, so too did their marriage encounter unforeseen storms that tested their resolve and resilience. One such storm came in the form of external pressures, a sudden job loss for Mark that left them both reeling with uncertainty. The financial strain added a new layer of stress to their already fragile equilibrium, threatening to unravel the progress they had made. Yet, instead of allowing it to drive them apart, they drew closer together, finding strength in their shared determination to weather the storm as a team. Their weekly check-ins became a lifeline during this turbulent time, providing a space for them to voice their fears, offer support, and strategize for the future. Through open communication and mutual understanding, they navigated the challenges of unemployment with grace and resilience, emerging stronger and more united than ever before. Another test of their newfound trust came when Emily was offered a promotion at work that required frequent travel. The prospect of spending time apart stirred old insecurities in Mark, triggering memories of Emily's past indiscretions. Yet, instead of succumbing to jealousy and doubt, Mark chose to confront his fears head-on, acknowledging them openly and seeking reassurance from Emily. Emily, in turn, recognized the importance of prioritizing their relationship amidst her career ambitions. She made a conscious effort to maintain open lines of communication, scheduling regular video calls and surprise visits whenever possible. Through small gestures of love and commitment, they reaffirmed their bond, proving that distance was no match for the strength of their connection. As the seasons changed once again, so too did Emily and Mark's relationship. The storms they weathered only served to deepen their appreciation for each other and the love they shared. With each challenge they faced together, they emerged stronger, more resilient, and more deeply committed to their journey of growth and healing. As Emily and Mark entered this new chapter of their lives, they did so with a sense of optimism and determination. The trials they had faced together had forged a bond that was unbreakable, and they were ready to embrace whatever the future held with open hearts and minds. One of the first steps they took towards building a brighter future was to embark on a long-awaited vacation. With their schedules finally aligned and their finances stable once more, they set off on a journey to explore new horizons and create lasting memories together. From hiking through breathtaking landscapes to indulging in culinary delights, every moment was a celebration of their love and resilience. During their travels, they found themselves engaging in deep conversations about their hopes, dreams, and aspirations for the future. They talked about starting a family, pursuing new career opportunities, and even entertaining the idea of renewing their vows in a ceremony surrounded by their loved ones. With each conversation, their bond grew stronger, reaffirming their commitment to building a life filled with joy, love, and adventure. Upon their return home, Emily and Mark wasted no time in turning their dreams into reality. They began actively planning for the future, setting goals and milestones that would guide them on their journey forward. From enrolling in parenting classes to exploring new job opportunities, they approached each decision with a sense of purpose and enthusiasm. One of the most significant milestones they achieved was the purchase of their first home together. Nestled in a quaint neighborhood with a backyard perfect for gardening, it was a symbol of their commitment to building a life together, filled with love and stability. As they settled into their new home, they couldn't help but feel a sense of gratitude for how far they had come and excitement for the adventures that lay ahead. As they stood hand in their new backyard, surrounded by the beauty of nature and the promise of a bright future, Emily and Mark knew that their journey was far from over. But with each step they took together, they were reminded of the strength of their love and the endless possibilities that awaited them. As Emily and Mark's story draws to a close, it's a time for reflection, a moment to pause and appreciate the journey they've undertaken, the challenges they've overcome, and the love that has sustained them through it all. Their journey, while tumultuous at times, has been a testament to the power of forgiveness, resilience, and the unwavering commitment to each other. From the depths of betrayal emerged a stronger, more resilient bond, forged through honesty, communication, and a shared determination to rebuild what was lost. In the years that followed, Emily and Mark continued to grow individually and as a couple. They welcomed the arrival of their first child, a joyous addition that brought new meaning and purpose to their lives. Parenthood presented its own set of challenges, but with each sleepless night and every milestone reached, they found themselves drawing closer together, united in their love for their growing family. Their careers flourished as well, with Emily finding fulfillment in her work as a writer and Mark excelling in his new role as a project manager. Together, they navigated the ups and downs of their professional lives, supporting each other through the inevitable setbacks and celebrating the triumphs with boundless pride. As they look back on their journey, Emily and Mark are filled with gratitude for the second chances they've been given, for the love that has sustained them, and for the lessons learned along the way. They know that their story is not just their own, but a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the transformative power of love. In closing, Emily and Mark's story serves as a reminder that no relationship is immune to challenges, but with honesty, communication, and unwavering commitment, even the deepest wounds can heal. Theirs is a story of redemption, forgiveness, and the enduring strength of the human heart. As we bid farewell to Emily and Mark, let their journey be a beacon of hope for all who may find themselves facing their own trials and tribulations. May their story inspire others to embrace the power of love, forgiveness, and the belief that no matter how dark the night may seem, there is always a new dawn waiting to break. As Emily and Mark settled into their newfound stability, they found themselves facing a new set of realities. Parenthood brought with it a whirlwind of joy, exhaustion, and unanticipated challenges. Late-night feedings, diaper changes, and the constant demands of caring for a newborn tested their patience and resilience in ways they never imagined. Yet amidst the chaos, they discovered a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment. The love they felt for their child was a force unlike any other, binding them together in a shared journey of nurturing, learning, and growth. As they watched their baby grow and develop, they marveled at the miracle of life and the profound impact it had on their own. Their relationship, too, evolved in unexpected ways. The demands of parenthood forced them to prioritize their time and energy, leaving little room for the conflicts and disagreements that once plagued their marriage. They learned to communicate more effectively, to lean on each other for support, and to cherish the moments of connection amidst the chaos of daily life. Yet, as their child grew older and more independent, they found themselves facing new challenges. Balancing the demands of work and family, maintaining intimacy in their relationship, and navigating the inevitable conflicts that arose as they adjusted to their new roles as parents tested their bond in ways they never anticipated. Through it all, they remained steadfast in their commitment to each other and to their family. They sought guidance from books, therapists, and fellow parents, drawing on the wisdom of others to navigate the uncharted waters of parenthood. And with each passing day, they grew stronger, more resilient, and more deeply connected to each other and to the precious life they had created together. As Emily and Mark delved deeper into the throes of parenthood, they found themselves in a constant juggling act, balancing the demands of work, family, and their relationship. The days blurred together in a whirlwind of feedings, diaper changes, and sleepless nights, leaving little time for themselves or each other. Amidst the chaos, they struggled to maintain a sense of balance, a delicate equilibrium that seemed to constantly elude them. Their once spontaneous dates and leisurely evenings were replaced by hurried meals and stolen moments snatched between the cries of their restless child. Yet amidst the challenges, they discovered moments of profound connection, tiny fragments of time that reminded them of the love that bound them together. A shared smile over their child's first laugh, a whispered conversation in the quiet of the night, a tender embrace amidst the chaos of their daily lives. These fleeting moments served as beacons of hope, guiding them through the darkest nights and the longest days. As they navigated the complexities of parenthood, Emily and Mark leaned on each other for support, drawing strength from their shared experiences and the love that had carried them through so many trials before. They learned to communicate more effectively, to express their needs and desires openly, and to prioritize their relationship amidst the demands of their busy lives. Yet they also confronted the harsh realities of parenthood, the sleepless nights, the endless demands, the relentless exhaustion that seemed to permeate every aspect of their existence. They grappled with feelings of guilt and inadequacy, questioning whether they were doing enough, whether they were good enough, whether they were worthy of the precious life they had been entrusted with. But through it all, they persevered, drawing on the strength of their love and the resilience of their bond to weather the storms that threatened to tear them apart. They learned to embrace the messiness of parenthood, to find beauty in the chaos, and to cherish the moments of joy and laughter that punctuated the monotony of their daily routine. And as they looked into the eyes of their child, they knew that every sacrifice, every struggle, every moment of doubt was worth it. For in the end, they had each other, and that was enough to sustain them through even the darkest of nights. As Emily and Mark journeyed through the tumultuous seas of parenthood, they encountered storms that tested the strength of their bond. Sleepless nights, teething troubles, and the relentless demands of caring for a growing child threatened to overwhelm them at times. Yet through it all, they clung to each other with unwavering resolve, weathering the storms together. One particularly challenging storm came when their child fell ill, a sudden fever that spiked in the dead of night, sending them rushing to the emergency room in a panic. Fear gnawed at their hearts as they waited for news, their minds haunted by worst-case scenarios. Yet in the midst of their anxiety, they found solace in each other's presence, drawing strength from their shared love and determination to see their child through to health. As they sat by their child's bedside, watching over them as they slept, they were reminded of the fragility of life and the preciousness of every moment they shared together. They made a silent vow to cherish each day, to hold their loved ones close, and to never take a single moment for granted. Another storm came when they faced financial difficulties, a sudden setback that threatened to derail their carefully laid plans for the future. Yet, instead of allowing it to drive a wedge between them, they came together with a renewed sense of purpose, determined to weather the storm as a team. They tightened their belts, reevaluated their priorities, and found creative solutions to their challenges, emerging stronger and more resilient than ever before. Through every trial and tribulation, Emily and Mark leaned on each other for support, drawing strength from their shared love and the knowledge that together they could overcome anything. They learned to communicate more effectively, to listen with open hearts, and to find common ground even in the midst of conflict. As the storms of parenthood raged on, Emily and Mark stood firm, their love a beacon of hope in the darkness. They knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, as long as they faced them together, they could weather any storm that came their way. As Emily and Mark journeyed through the trials and triumphs of parenthood, they emerged stronger, wiser, and more deeply connected than ever before. With each challenge they faced and each obstacle they overcame, their bond grew stronger, their love more resilient. In the quiet moments between diaper changes and bedtime stories, they found solace in each other's arms, cherishing the simple joys of parenthood and the profound beauty of their shared journey. They marveled at the miracle of life they had created together, grateful for the love that filled their home and the laughter that echoed through its halls. As their child grew older, they watched with pride and wonder, marveling at the person they were becoming and the limitless potential that lay before them. They reveled in the small victories and celebrated the milestones, knowing that each moment was a gift to be cherished and savored. Through it all, they remained steadfast in their commitment to each other and to their family. They continued to prioritize their relationship, carving out time for date nights, romantic getaways, and quiet moments of intimacy amidst the chaos of their busy lives. And as they stood hand in hand, watching the sun set on another day, they knew that their journey was far from over. Together, they embraced the promise of a new dawn, filled with endless possibilities and the boundless potential of their love. For Emily and Mark, the story of their lives was just beginning, a beautiful tapestry woven with threads of love, hope, and the unbreakable bond they shared. And as they looked to the future with hearts full of gratitude and excitement, they knew that whatever adventures lay ahead, they would face them together, hand in hand, hearts entwined forevermore.